Hey, how's it going, everyone? Today I want to talk about mentor and what that is. A mentor is more experienced and knowledgeable individual who provides guidance, advice, and support for someone who is less experienced. I would say in that particular field, typically refers to a mentor, a mentee, or a protégé. A mentor-mentee relationship is often based on mutual agreement where the mentor shares his experience, insights, and wisdom to help the mentee to grow his personality academically or professionally. That's one way to put it. Myself, I'm constantly looking for people within industry know-how, someone who's been within the industry for number of years, ideally 10 or more years. Is something I'm constantly for the lookout. I'm trying to book meetings. There are a lot of different platforms where they're offering a lot of industry experience. There are a lot of people within the industry who are interested to find out more what's happening. So I'm constantly on the lookout myself. It's something that I do almost every day. I have another meeting within the matter of 20 minutes from now. So yeah, it's something that I do, and I would recommend for everybody else to do the same. Overall, when it comes to perhaps coaching others, and being coach, and perhaps building your own circle, so there would be three perhaps areas that everyone should think of at least at once. Spending more time with people on your own level and perhaps building your circle, perhaps being coached by a lot more experienced people, ideally 10 or perhaps even 20 years of industry know-how, and spend some time coaching others, perhaps if that's an option for you, depending on where you are in your life. I think that would bring overall good understanding when it comes to perhaps giving back, how that within the way how you're structuring your time. Mentors offer valuable advice, help mentees navigate challenges, and provide constructive feedback. They might also share their own expertise, offer networking opportunities, and serve as role models for mentees. The goal of mentoring is to foster mentees' personal and professional development by providing them with the tools, knowledge, and perspectives needed to succeed in their chosen field or area of interest. Mentoring relationships can occur in various settings, such as workplaces, educational institutions, non-profit organizations, and community groups. The mentor-mentee relationships is built on trust, respect, and willingness to learn and grow, and it often benefits both parties involved. I will highlight that. That definitely does, yeah. When you constantly have your ideas tested, challenged, you can improve your ideas and understanding. To the most part, it benefits everyone involved, especially those fundamentals. And you yourself, as a business leader, you need to have those fundamentals uh, tested and have those fundamentals been ingrained very. You need to understand those very well. Yeah, and how those what that will help you in overall professional career. In the book, Game Strategy, in the book, I'm talking about the best way to approach learning, especially if you're trying to learn a lot of things at once in a very short period of time. You can read books. I prefer reading books. That's a way to understand perhaps way of a person's thinking, and it's a large format. Person has time to show full thinking process and how he came with conclusions that he did. That's my personal understanding, but not always I have enough time to read books. Sometimes for particular problems, even if you know the answer, that might be how to resolve particular issue that you might get from mentor. Uh, Not necessarily you have that understanding how that person got to those results. So that's one of those things to I don't want to consider. But overall, then we're talking about time and making most of your time having a mentor compared to perhaps reading books, taking a course, perhaps distance learning. Mentor, I would say, one of the best option, and that's another tool to solve any problem that you might have. You can find this book in description on my company's website. It's one of my best books that I have ever written, and I'm talking about where the future is gonna be within the book. I'm making a lot of bold statements, my personal understanding about the markets and how those markets are shifting and where the future is gonna be and what perhaps new skills everyone needs to pick up based on my own understanding. I'm talking a lot about particular niches. You can find more within the book. Everyone perhaps would start with their closest circle of people that they can go to. That would be perhaps their friends, perhaps even their family, and with any question that they may have. But those kind of questions and those answers would take most likely would take you that far, right? Uh, that's my own understanding. If I prefer to get the same results, what that particular person has, I would go to that person and ask for that person's advice, and more than likely, can end up with similar results. Depends on a lot of factors, but that's pretty much how this formula works. If you prefer to perhaps having different results compared to some of the people from your close surroundings and people from your immediate circles or people that you're constantly in contact with, if you prefer perhaps having different results, what I'm saying, perhaps try to reach out to perhaps different people. Make a good offer, and those I'm talking about that would other videos of how to send the letters, how to approach different people, and perhaps how to work together with those people. That's an option. How you can perhaps solve some of the problems of those people. In return, perhaps they would offer something that you need. That could potentially be a win-win situation for everyone and benefit everyone involved. That's one way to approach it. Perhaps you need to make really good value proposition, but I don't want to go too much into details. But yeah, that's pretty much how it works, especially finding really good coaches and how you can approach this kind of field. My own personal experience when it comes to having mentors. If I'll give you a real world example. Myself, I'm a qualified personal trainer when it comes to fitness. I believe I do understand everything when it comes to fitness. I believe for how many years I've been doing it, for how many books I have read, for how much actually real world practice I had, and then it comes to fitness. I had the same argument with a group of people when we were deciding where we will see ourselves in terms of our fitness goals, and if we should get as we were talking with a group of personal trainers, if someone raised the question if it's worth having a personal trainer to train you as a coaches training coaches, right? We had the argument for that. I believe that everyone top talent, top athletes within the world, every single one of them have coaches. Every single one of them. You can think about top teams. Every single top team has a coach. The same when it comes to fitness and as a personal trainer. I like to adapt for myself this attitude when I'm coachable, and I'm going to be spending time, perhaps money, with the top coaches that perhaps would be interested in coaching a new generation of people, business leaders, and developing my own skills, and perhaps shining some light on my blind spots if I have any, and perhaps adapting new strategies, attitudes when it comes to fitness, learning new things, new trends when it comes to fitness. At least that was our way of thinking when it came to fitness and understanding. But it depends where you are, I guess, in life. You might adapt something more of doing everything yourself, I guess, at least in the beginning. Try doing that or learn everything yourself. Or, but I would definitely recommend finding coaches and trainers and spending a lot of time with those as well. And do not close yourself in. Learn from everyone if you can. Perhaps most of the time what not to do, but you can learn what to do as well from those people, and that can benefit everyone. Mentoring and the topic of mentoring is something that most likely I'll come back to you in my follow-up videos in the future. But for now, for everyone to consider, is if not the most, it's very important part when it comes to your personal and professional development. If having those people who you can go to for any question that you might have, especially in your professional development as a business owner, and how many things you should know, what are industry trends, so many questions, so many different areas that everyone should know of. It's very hard to pay attention at all of those. Perhaps everyone should consider having a mentor that could perhaps guide that person achieving that person's professional goals. I would definitely highly recommend finding a mentor. Thank you, and see you in the next one.